Okay, I just want to demonstrate a technique for crushing cans, soda cans, so they don't take so much room in the trash or in the recycling, if you believe municipalities actually do that. Anyway, you're always going to have trouble with crushing a can along its strong side. So this is structural. All the way around the can, the metal here is structural because it can take quite a bit of weight from the top. And what you need to do is break that strength. And the most obvious way to do it, which is actually ineffective, is to just fold the can, right, and then bring it down here. But that's actually not that much smaller. You only, then you can continue to try to flatten it or whatever. But it's not very compact. So that's not an effective way, but it is a way to weaken the strength of the can when it's in its full form. But another way, there's a lot of ways, and it's a lot easier if you crush it by stepping on it, because then the force of your foot is actually a lot stronger than this structure, and you can crush it down. There's enough force. But what if you don't want to use your foot, don't want to ruin, for example, we have nice tile here, and I don't want to do that on a regular basis, and or you're not in a place where it would be appropriate to crush it on the ground, like it would be outside or somewhere. So what are we to do? We need sufficient force to crush the can, compact it. We need to overcome the structure of the walls of the can. But just folding it or crunching it on the, in the center is not that much of a space gain. So what are we to do? Well, I use torsion. I use a twisting motion. So what happens is the structure is going to be turned sideways, and then it can be laid down on itself. Now, the way, just twisting is not as effective. It takes actually a lot more force. What you do is you do a little bit of a bend with your fingers as you're twisting, and that kind of breaks down this structure and allows it to lay itself down in a spiral. Okay, anyway, enough talk. I'll demonstrate. Essentially, you're grabbing here at the shoulder of the can, in the strong part of your hand. Same here at the bottom, in the shoulder, strong part of your hand. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pinch in a little bit with just one of my hands to get the process started. Okay, and then, so I'll do one in slow motion. I think it should work just fine in slow motion. Here we go. Pushing in and twist. Okay, so that's step one. So you're saying, well, that's not that compact, but step two is turn it and put your hands like this. Fingers on the bottom, thumbs, the base, the soft part of your thumb there, and then just crush downward. So now you have a very compact can. And you see how it's spiraled, and so it's allowed for quite a bit of compactness. Pretty good, right? Okay, let's try it again. And I'll just do it full speed. See, pretty effective. So what happens is, as we drink, and we leave these kind of near the trash and recycling, particularly my wife leaves these for me so that I can crush them, then it's really not a big deal to, just walk up, done. And it does take some hand strength, and of course I'm used to it. I've been doing it for many years, decades even. But once you get used to it and become effective at it, well, that just tore. Then you can do it easily. Sometimes your fingers, grab one more, can get a little bit caught up inside the twist. Let me do one slow motion. So right there, fingers a little bit caught. You'll get used to it, just moving your fingers out of the way when the time comes. But just takes a little bit of practice. And then you're crushing cans in no time. Those are very small. So next, what about, say, a 20 ouncer? There's two ways to do this. The first way, both ways, you take the lid off, but the first way you could do just like you did before and twist. For whatever reason, I switched the orientation when I do bottles. Anyway, I twist and scrunch it up, and then you put the lid on to keep it from expanding. So I only have one of these, but I'll show both ways. Anyway, twist, and then put the lid back on so it can't expand. Okay, super compressed. Once you take the lid off, it starts expanding. The second way you could do it, is you can fold up from the bottom and just roll it up and put the lid on. That's the second way. They're both about the same size when compressed. And the lid keeps it from unrolling. Anyway, so that's one method. I mean, two methods for the 20 ouncer. These little cheaper ones, the super thin water bottles that they're making now, you can literally just crush it. There's almost no structure to it. And then put the lid back on and compressed. And then, okay, what about these? Well, these do not twist very well, or at least it's a little bit complicated to twist them. So all I do is I take the lid off and I fold them like this. And then put the lid back on. And then it's pretty compressed. You could twist them, but that way I think works a little faster. Anyway, what about these? Well, again, take the lid off, empty out whatever's left. And these, you don't really crush. They don't twist because they've got these corners. They're square. So all I do is I just follow this crease. So essentially I want a crease right down the middle here and right down the middle here. So I first go with these two tops here and I push them in. And I push in all the way down. And the bottom is going to want to start tilting. Let it do that. So anyway, compress down flat, let that fold up like that, and then put the lid back on. Compact. Let's see that again. We've got another one, same thing. Push in at these sides, push all the way down, flattening all the way down, and let the bottom come up. Then everything's flat in the trash or the recycling. picture.